Hello, everyone. I'm Tyler from BlazeKick, and this is the PlayStation Point. Today, here's Kuro. She's sick, so
Hi,
she's not gonna be
guys.
she's not gonna be talking as much for everyone. And it's been a sluggish week for Sony as it dies down, closing up to Black Friday and the holidays. So we have a bit of we have a little news, but not too much. Just getting ready for the bombshell that are all the Black Friday deals. So let's get started.
Monday, you're forgetting about Cyber Monday.
Cyber Monday, Black Friday. There's already a bit of a. Is today Tuesday?
Yes.
Well, Sony missed Cyber Monday by just a little bit because there is a PSN sale. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but we're talking about the bigger part, which is that the PS4 Pro and the PlayStation 4 Slim are out as of last week,
Yay.
to the quiet lull of many new owners. And to all you new owners who are looking for a podcast to listen to about news for the new console that you just spent a lot of money on, welcome. It's very, very curious why you picked this place in particular, but welcome. Could have picked Giant Bomb, but you're here, so welcome. I haven't heard a whole lot about the PS4 Pro or the Slim since it came out, honestly. I guess it's just a thing people have now.
It's been very quiet. I noticed, I haven't heard any tweets about it. I mean, what I'm interested in is if you had both, and then, how does the PS4 or PSVR handle each system? That's what I'm curious about.
The other thing is that all PS4 consoles can handle HDR. So by the time that the PS4 Pro and the PS4 Slim came out, people had already had a decent amount of HDR screenshots out for the games that have HDR support now through patching. But even then, but yeah, there aren't any games out right now that I know of that support 4K resolutions at the moment.
How many people have a 4K TV?
Well, yeah, but it's still upscaled from a 1080p game because games right now for PlayStation 4 don't natively support 4K. They have to be upscaled. And it usually works. I can guess, depending on some games. Some games do have a running resolution of 900p, as we've seen from Xbox One. But PS4 does tend to have a few of those games as well, especially probably games like the Order 1886, which use a very bizarre resolution to use a letterbox system. It could go anywhere, really. So the PlayStation 4 Pro, I'd say, would be people's best bets if they're looking to start with the PS4. But if you don't even have a 4K TV, then you should really just go with the Slim. But if you're planning on getting VR, then odds are you're going to want to pick up the Pro anyways.
I didn't see a bundle for the Pro and the PlayStation VR. It's kind of weird.
That's bizarre because the PlayStation 4 Pro has an extra USB slot in the back specifically for the breaker box. Or the splitter box.
That's weird.
Yeah, the splitter box uses a USB port as well as a plug-in.
The fuck?
I know. It's pretty... I mean, to be fair, splitter boxes that are larger than 2.2, which is what the splitter box included with the VR system is, it usually requires a power source. That's what I had to deal with for some stuff. Actually, my splitter box, the 1.2 splitter box that I use for all my streaming and everything, requires a power source as well. So I'm kind of used to it at this point. But the splitter box is pretty large.
How big is it?
Comparably
to an iPhone or...
It's about that big, I'd say. And twice the width.
It's got... Does it really need to be that big?
No. But it looks pretty. I mean...
For a prick.
Yeah. Odd how this is actually a really good scale representation of the PlayStation 2 Slim. But yeah, the splitter box is kind of big. And the main reason is that the PS4 Pro would require another space for it, and you could use the extra USB port to plug in your PS4 controller or another PlayStation Move controller. So regardless, the extra USB space is pretty good. Even more so if you get a splitter for USB. Like I have one from Rock Band that was a 4-in-1 that I use to this day for my PC, but it would work wonderfully for having it in the back because I could just plug in external hard drives and increase the capacity. Past that, I don't really see much of a use for the PS4 Pro for me. I'm just fine with what I got.
Unless Okami 2 HD or 4K comes out, I will not need the Pro.
Okami in 4K? Oh boy.
It's already like amazing in HD.
Yeah.
And if Hideki Kamiya just makes it in 4K, I will just die and it will be wonderful.
Well, odds are Hideki Kamiya would have to acquire the rights from Capcom because Capcom owns Okami.
I know, but like people want the sequel. He did like 2 Twitter posts asking like, if I made a sequel, what sequel do you want? And everyone picked Okami 2 on both Twitter polls.
Well, I mean, to be fair, we did get a sequel. It's just not the sequel people wanted.
No, we don't want to talk. We don't talk about Okami Den. Just no.
We don't talk about Okami Den except for the fact that it was kind of okay, except not really.
A friend of mine tried to justify it first when it came out that it was good, and then later on she's like, "Yeah, it wasn't that great."
I played it once, beat it, and then I was just like, okay, I'm done.
I just watched Troy Conroy play it, and I knew from his playthrough I would have not liked it.
The difference between Okami and Okami Den is Okami Den is more heavily puzzle oriented. It's very bizarre. And I remember even when I was playing it, I would just screw around with the sketch thing because you like draw paths for everything, and I loved glitching it out all the time.
Yeah, it wasn't quite Zelda-esque, but like I like that part of Zelda, like Okami being like Zelda because
Right.
I love Zelda. So I mean, I didn't have a problem with it. It was like Japanese mythology, but using sort of the lines of how Zelda plays. I was like, that's fucking awesome. Like, why wouldn't I want that?
Mm-hmm. You probably get a kick out of Darksiders 2. Or Darksiders 1 for that matter. It's a very grim, dark Zelda-esque game. It has like a somewhat gothic, otherworldly feel to it. It's actually an interesting title, I'd say. But
which system is it for?
Darksiders 1 is like 360 and PS3.
Okay,
Darksiders 2, I think, is like 360, PS3, PC, got a re-release on PS4, Xbox One, Wii U.
Well, I have a PS3 Slim, a PS4, a banging PC, and a PS4, and a Wii U, so...
I think it's on PS4. But yeah, you could play it. You can definitely play it with the consoles you have.
And computer.
Yeah. I think Darksiders 2 was free at some point for PS Plus members, wasn't it?
I don't know. I've only had it for like a year.
Fair enough. Maybe Darksiders 1. Either way. Yeah. PS4 Pro, PS4 Slim. It's out. If you haven't gotten a PS4 yet, I would highly recommend at least the Slim at this point, because there's a decent enough library in a wide variety of genres for you to enjoy. Plenty of exclusives for that matter, too. With more coming down the pipeline, as we've seen from this year's E3, which I decided to take some time to reflect upon, thanks to the lovely fellows at Easy Allies, who had some very amazing uploads of their reactions to the conferences. Yeah, I completely forgot like half the games that are coming out next year for PS4. I think all in all, it's a pretty good time to be a PS4 owner, as much as an Xbox One owner, for that matter.
Basically, like 2017 is the year of video games because everything got delayed from this year.
Yeah, no kidding. We were supposed to have Final Fantasy 15 like 2 months ago, and it's going to come out next year.
Pretty much.
Yeah. We were supposed to have Persona around the same time as Japan, but we're 4 months behind now.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of incredible just how many games are coming out on February 14th. I found out, I rediscovered that For Honor is also coming out on February 14th.
I really want Horizon Zero Dawn, but I'm only gonna spend my money on
Yeah.
Persona 5.
I also completely forgot that Resident Evil 7 is coming out on January 24th.
I can't wait to do the unboxing for Persona 5's like Take Your Heart edition.
Mm-hmm. I can't wait to get my Steelbook.
Yee, special edition.
But yeah, I think what's gonna have to happen is you watch me play Resident Evil 7 in VR.
I shall do that.
We will do that for Blaze Kick Live when it comes out.
Yes.
I will get that stuff pre-ordered. I will get it ready to go. I have PSVR. It's going to be a good time. We'll see if we can invite Armando and Connor to join in the roller coaster of feelings that I'm going to be experiencing. Sadness, terror, maybe some ruined pants. We don't know.
Peeking the mic a lot.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, that's just a thing.
Yeah. All right. But yeah, Resident Evil 7 is going to be good. Farpoint. Can't wait for when that comes out.
And there's Ukulele.
Yeah, Ukulele is going to be just a good time. So many good feels from Ubisoft as well, I noticed. Like, I mean, we have South Park.
If you like South Park.
I don't like South Park, but I loved The Stick of Truth. So I'm going to get the Fractured Butthole.
I know my brother actually likes South Park. I don't know if he ever bought the first game, but I think he was considering buying the second game. I was like, why would you want to buy that? It's like, because I can.
Well, yeah, that's really why you only buy. That's why you ever only play games, is because you can.
Well, he's also a full-time engineer and has money.
That's equally fair. If I worked IT, I wouldn't be able to do this job.
Well, on the other hand, I'm still a college student. Like, he's been done with college for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as he pays his bills, he can kind of just do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Oh, and takes care of my cat.
Yeah. So, in the long line of running gags that is the Final Fantasy 15 release pipeline, we have yet another demo. The third demo, I think, for Final Fantasy 15 at this point. We had the demo that came with Type 0 HD. We had the Platinum demo that came out publicly. And now we have the, so far, Japan-only demo, Judgment demo disc. Judgment disc demo, that's what it's called. Easy Allies did a stream on it, which is nice. So I got to experience what it was. It's Final Fantasy 15, all right. It's so peculiar to see Final Fantasy 15 get so much hype, but we've been fed carrots on a stick for like a year and a half now at this point, with demos and trailers and VR.
I don't care. Just it's like if I were a fan of Final Fantasy, I'd be like, give me the fucking game already. Piece of shit.
I have that. I think that's the feeling that a lot of Final Fantasy VII fans are feeling right now as well for the remake. Like we've been spoon fed a little bit of information. I think the last bit of information we were told about it was that it was going to be episodic. Episodic releases are fine. Episodic releases can be a good thing. Hitman has certainly done very well as an episodic released game.
But there's like different rules you sort of have to follow with that versus where like if you release the full game.
Yeah, it's very true, especially for especially for a JRPG like Final Fantasy VII, where it's like a 100, 200 hour game.
Like how do you make the episodic?
I can understand Final Fantasy VI. Like I can understand releasing that in two parts if you were to completely remake it like they're doing with 7, like doing a complete new engine revamp, new combat revamp, everything for Final Fantasy VI. If they were doing that, because you have the world of, you have the first section and then you have the World of Ruin, which is like the second section, like the close off. But that's still like comparably 75% of the game to 25% of the game. But I can see them. I can understand why they're doing the episodic release for Final Fantasy VII because it was a 3-disc game, so it was all contained within discs in terms of arc and progression. So if they stick to that 3-episode arc or that 3-episode section, then I can see it working out. But comes the issue of pricing. Like, are they going to allow people to buy the full game for $60, or are you going to have to buy like $30, $30, $30? That's going to be the deciding point for Final Fantasy VII Remake at this point.
I don't know.
And it's going to be the deciding point for Final Fantasy 15 as well, if this Judgment demo is really going to tide people over for an inevitable the delay that happened from September to whatever the hell release it is now. At this point, I've stopped keeping track. Same went for Mighty Number 9, really.
Oh god, that train wreck.
Yeah. Never forget. 2016 was a shitty year, folks. Never just consider the goods a blessing in a tidal wave of shit that happened this year.
I don't know if it'll get, like, for the world of video games, it's going to get better. I don't know about everywhere else, though.
Yeah. We lost Hideo Kojima, and we got him back, which is very nice. But
if you're at, like, RTX Sydney, he's going to be there, so I hope you guys are happy.
yeah, go Australians. Getting the good shit.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Why not? Why not? Hideo Kojima can ask questions. It's better than having Hideki Kamiya. Could you imagine how many people would ask him extremely sarcastic questions?
Oh my god, he has no chill. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it would be like a complete train wreck if Kamiya were there. Because he would get sarcastic comments and just be like, fuck you.
The entire Q&A.
Yeah, that would be all the Q&A.
Question 1, fuck you. Question 2, fuck you. Question 3, go fuck yourself.
Question 4, oh, what's your Twitter handle? Locked. Man, oh man. Kamiya, I love you. Please don't block me. I don't follow you, but don't block me. Okay. Back to news. For those of you who have been riding the waves of hype for the past few months and have been hearing nonstop about Overwatch, you have another chance to try it out. There is a free-to-play weekend going on from November 18th to the 21st, which hopefully we will get this episode out before then.
We will. I unfortunately cannot participate in it because I have a bunch of shit due at the end of the month.
Yep.
So power to anyone who can use this opportunity to play Overwatch. I really, really want to play Overwatch for Sombra and Reaper and Zarya.
I hope you realize that if you're going to be playing Overwatch this weekend, please do not get your hopes up on playing Sombra, because recently Overwatch instated the one hero per team limit into quick play. So that means that you're only ever going to be able to have one hero in a team, which is a perfect balance, because if you've seen what can happen with 2 Torbjorns or 2 Bastions on a team in a defense state, it can be an absolute disaster to be on the attacking side. So it could...
But isn't that fun sometimes for things to be broken?
Yeah, it can be fun, which is why they also added an arcade mode, so you can still do hero stacking sometimes. Like they remove it from the core, but they still have it in the fun stuff. So I mean, all the better. But if you're going to want to play Sombra, then you should probably do it in the arcade, or at the very least, give other heroes a chance in the quick play, because odds are a lot of heroes are not going to get the whole lot of love after Sombra has been released. I mean, some characters don't get the love they deserve.
I still want to get the leggings and the crop top I showed you.
Yeah, they look pretty nice.
She also does Tracer and Diva. So we should put that in description for people who want it, but I might as well just flash it on the screen during this. They look really fucking cool, but she wants $55 for leggings and $30 to $35 for the crop top. So if you spend over $100, you get free shipping. So that's sort of your incentive.
To get both.
Yeah, because it
Mm.
comes out to $90 and you buy something that's like $10 from her.
Mm. All the better, really. Support the artists.
Support artists because like I noticed Blizzard isn't really doing a whole lot of merch themselves. They're kind of letting people do their own thing.
But they have the little turnip plushie that squeaks.
I can.
And that's it.
Well, I want the Reaper female shirt, but like I haven't seen anything for Sombra.
They do a lot of plushes. I noticed Blizzard. They have little turnip, and they also have the bird. I think it's called Copernicus or something.
I'm not talking plushies, but I feel like they're not doing a whole lot of merch overall. I feel like they're letting fans do their own merch, which I think is cool.
Right.
Shit, like if you're an artist and you're at a convention, what sells more, your original work or fan art? It's really fan art.
Yeah.
And it's in some ways it's good, some ways it's bad. Some people get their jobs from just drawing fan arts. I mean,
yeah. The most important thing to know about fan art as well is that a lot of these artists draw fan art to draw the attention of people who enjoy those games to look at their pictures, to look at their other art, and then possibly get commission from it. That's why a lot of people do anything, really.
I mean, if they do commissions, some people are so popular they don't do commissions.
Yeah.
They'd say they just have Patreon, which I think is great. You still give something to like your fans, even though like you can't individually give everyone everything.
Yeah. By the way, props to the people on Etsy who make N64 top labels. They're the best. Absolute best. 15 years of turmoil and having to like pick them up from the top and like having to be like, okay, what game is this? Not the one. Not the one. Oh, here it is. Okay, good. Fucking top labels exist now, people. They're like $15. You can reapply them. They're not permanent. This is why I go on Etsy. Important shit like this. Stuff that makes my childhood turmoils of very monotonous and minimal things. Support your artists. They make cool shit.
Yes, support artists.
Yeah. All right. Next up, a game previously released in Japan by the company Idea Factory. They announced that an RPG called Black Rose Valkyrie is coming to the West in spring of 2017 under the name Dark Rose Valkyrie. I don't know a whole lot about Black Rose Valkyrie. It's listed as an RPG, but you probably know more than I do.
The Valkyrie series is a really niche series. Like, I think maybe Idea Factory had NIS America translate some of them, but it's fairly niche.
Yeah.
I feel like people know more about Disgaea than Valkyrie. But if it's a good RPG, it's a good RPG.
Yeah. It reminds me of like how niche the Valkyria Chronicles series is actually. Like it's a very well-known and highly renowned strategy RPG, but it has not garnered a whole lot of investment interest in the past few years.
RPGs are not easy to get into. I feel like there's a lot of barriers because there's grinding, and as Undertale's creator has put it, he has said that like, yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles X is amazing, but there's so much to it. There's so much grinding. There's so much side quests. Like, he just wanted something that you could do in like, it's like 2 to 6 hours, and I was like, that's good.
Yeah.
It's just that when you get these RPGs, sometimes you get really epic tales, but they're not really epic when you actually just look at the cutscenes. So there's a lot of padding in between.
That's always been from the beginning of time what an RPG is, though.
For a long time,
Si-
it's been
JRPGs. I remember the stark contrast between Final Fantasy One and Final Fantasy Two. Final Fantasy One had specific characters who could upgrade to different jobs in the future, but they required a lot of grinding. Final Fantasy Two took that like up to 11 immediately. So like the first game was pretty simple in comparison to Final Fantasy Two. You want more HP? Get the shit kicked out of you to increase your HP. Need more MP? Use the shit out of your spells to get more MP. Want a better version of those spells? Use the shit out of that one spell specifically to upgrade it.
Disgaea has changed some of that. So they have different ways you can grind now.
Mhm.
There's a cheat system, so you can say if you want just mana to upgrade your skills and your evil teas, you can just put all of your percentage cheating to like mana,
Yeah,
and you'll just get mana by grinding through
I
just the map
actually
levels.
I actually played Disgaea 4 enough to get to the point where I found that cheat menu, and I was like, "What? Huh?
Technically,
There's a game that does this?"
they didn't start that until Disgaea D2, which was after Disgaea 4. But since you're playing like the beta
I'm
version,
playing the beta version of Disgaea 4, yeah.
yeah, that was included into the beta version.
A Promise Remembered or something.
Yeah, A Promise Returned, I think it's what's called.
Oh,
But
God.
the version of Sky 4, it did not come out.
Mm,
They introduced in Disgaea D2. It's in Disgaea 5, and then for the Vita version of Disgaea 4, which has all the DLC as well,
right.
they put that in there because I've played 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and when they put that cheat system into Disgaea D2, that made things so much nicer.
Right.
And then there's like a character world where you play it like 100% orange juice.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird, but it works.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that actually. So a little bit about Dark Rise Valkyrie. Um, it features work from the scenario writer and character designers of the Tales of series, Takumi Miyajima and Kosuke Fujishima. It is a real-time ARPG that uses a VN interview system to find. This is a really weird explanation. It uses a VR interview system because in your team there is apparently a traitor that you have to find out throughout the progress of the story. Customize attacks, use riot combos, interrogate your party to find a traitor. This is bizarre. I don't like this is a series that I really don't know anything about, so I'm just reading off the features list thanks to Silicon Era. Credit to Silicon Era for caring so much about the RPG genre. But yeah, if it seems up your alley, go ahead and read on it. There is an announcement trailer on the PS4 channel. You go check it out. It does have a very distinct, like it says it's from the Tales of character designer, but I look at the thumbnail and I think Valkyria Chronicles because it has a very similar look, I guess. Yeah, that's all I think we have to say on Dark Rose Valkyrie. Do you have anything to add?
Nope.
All right. For those of you Hatsune Miku fans, the second stage for Hatsune Miku VR Future Live is out. So if you have that game, go get it. It's a thing.
If Armando would just send me his VR headset, I would totally play it.
I don't think it's really a playing thing. It's a stage. So you, like, as far as I know, there are two things about Future Live VR, which is you're basically an audience member, so you watch everything live on stage, which is perfectly fine. The one thing I apparently heard about is that you could use the PlayStation Move controllers as like glowing wands that you get to like cheer on with.
Oh, those! I know about those.
That's all I know about Hatsune Miku Future Live VR.
I mean, some people like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no kidding. I saw a lot of stuff in TGS that I'm really glad isn't coming here. Like, wasn't there a VR game I saw? Like, wasn't there a VR game showcased at TGS where it's like some weird game where you can like grope a mannequin or something?
I don't know, but the summer one is being translated to English, so it will come to the West.
So, well, Summer Lesson's fine because it is supposed to be like a like a live action VN style thing. Not live action. Live action implies real life people. A real time VN, I suppose, is the right one.
That would be really interesting. Like,
Yeah. The fact that it's getting localized into English, not specifically not like getting dubbed into English, but Japanese with English subtitles, right?
yeah, and personally, like, I think that'd be interesting for Steins Gate if you put Hook's art direction into 3D models and then to do Steins Gate like that. Like,
Right.
there's some things about like the anime adaptation of Steins Gate that are like really good that you don't see in the visual novel because they're moving. You see more camera directions.
Right. We did see how it could possibly look for a 2D system to be converted into a 3D world because of the Attack on Titan game done by Omega Force.
Or you could be like, what is it? Danganronpa, which is 2.5D.
Oh yeah, very true. Um, I think the important thing to note about Summer Lesson is that there's already been confirmation that the game does have a significant amount of dignity to it because they don't allow you to do panty shots. Like they blacken the screen if you try to look up the girl's skirt, and I find that very nice. I find that a good thing. I don't know about you, but I find it a very good thing.
It's a good thing. It's just like it's not like Yandere Simulator where it's like there's a point to it.
Yeah.
It's just like there's a lot of people who just don't understand boundaries and want to do the things they can't do in real life.
Yeah.
In VR, and the fact that they stop that from happening is a good thing.
It's the barrier between VR allowing you to enter these worlds and the creators of these worlds telling you, all right, we'll give you enough chain to be invested in these characters we've created, but we don't want you to do certain things. And that's a very important thing both in game design and character creation.
Well, I mean, if you're playing that game, they're like, well, we don't like if you want to do that sort of thing, you can go buy someone else's game. Like, but we're not for that.
Yeah, that's very true.
I think is fine.
Yeah, that's very true. I could see it working out in Yandere Simulator for specific reasons because that game is anime Hitman.
Yes, and it is banned from Twitch.
Yeah, very banned from Twitch. Absolutely banned. Don't play it on Twitch.
Well, I mean, like for reasons we don't know why.
Well, they banned it specifically because of panty shots.
Really?
Yeah.
I've read in interviews saying that the creator doesn't actually know. Like, he's tried to compromise, but Twitch just won't say why. He's like, okay.
Yeah. I have a feeling it's specifically because of panty shots, though, because that is sexual content against underage girls. Because this is supposed to take place in a high school, which implies they're under the age of 18, which is the age of consent in the U.S., where Twitch is located.
But it's also like, you have to understand, it's like Japan, though. Japan's age of consent is like...
Well, you say that, but I don't think Yandere Simulator is made by a Japanese developer.
No, but it's placed in Japan.
Well, a setting in a fictional space still doesn't mean it's fair play for a real space.
That's not always true.
Like there's a very fine line we're walking here, and that's the law. That's like local law in the U.S. versus the theme setting. Because if we allowed things like that to happen in theme settings, then games like Nekopara or a lot of the other pornographic VNs that are put on Steam would be playable and viewable on Twitch. because a lot of those take place in Japan. And that's like still it's like a gray area. There has to be a compromise for that. And I'd say that US underage law applies to it greatly. That's really all I can say on it. Like, feel free to agree or disagree, but I feel like that should be where the line is drawn, is the age of consent. All right. We went from Hatsune Miku to Yandere Simulator.
Anime.
Yeah, Animu. So, yeah, Neo. You might have heard of it. I haven't played it. Apparently, it's some special kind of Dark Souls-y kind of game. It's going to have a standard and a special edition. So, I don't really down, but I didn't actually look it up. So, if
Well,
you
I mean, like,
know,
it's on PSN, so it's like digital.
yeah,
So like you'll get like a theme and some DLC, and I was like, that's not really.
yeah,
It's kind of
yeah,
honest.
yeah. It's all fair. I'd say I'd say, as I say with most games that we talk about on this show, just research it before you play it and make sure that it's something your style. We specify that these are special editions, everything which imply pre-orders. So just research a game at your own time, because we're never the final word on what's good or not, because we are just a journalism site.
For the
So
most part, yeah.
yeah. I'd say that Neo isn't my style, but it could very well be for someone.
Just try to avoid spoilers. That's all I can say.
Yeah, that's all. Well, I mean, it's really difficult in our age of the internet too, because as we've experienced firsthand, Nintendo and the Pokemon Company and Game Freak can't seem to shut the fuck up about Sun and Moon, and have spoiled basically like 80% of the game at this point.
I mean, like the thing is like they're either someone will leak it. So I mean,
Yeah.
they're kind of like their point is that like why don't we just leak it ourselves?
The fucking hilarious thing to me is that they tried so hard to make sure that people couldn't data mine their game. So just like they hit the Pokedex, they hit the Pokedex and everything, but forgot to remove the Alolan Pokemon from the fucking data.
That's just stupid. I'm sorry.
It's such a grave error to make.
I like you'll have okay. So there's this gif of Stephen Colbert, and there's like face palms. There's like 4, but one of them's like coming back and just like
Yeah,
that. And
it's
that's
like
people
face
Game
palm,
Freak.
face palm, face palm, face palm.
Yes, and it's like that has to be Game Freak because like how could they fuck up so badly?
We live at an age where the only reason we found out that Bigfoot exists in Grand Theft Auto 5 is because people data mined the shit out of that game. They hacked into code and fucking found out that you need 100% and to go to a specific area at a specific time of the day while it's foggy in order to eat a golden peyote. Like fucking, we live in that age. We live at an age where it takes where people spend 2 to 3 years figuring out if something's real or not. Like, you gotta hide this shit better.
Yeah, because like it just shows like how much like we don't put importance in security either.
Yeah, I don't even know anymore, really. Like, it's kind of absurd. Like, I'm really glad Rockstar figured out the age of the internet before anyone else did, because like the fact that people spent 3 years figuring out if there's a Bigfoot or not in a fictional game is so heartwarming to me, that I love reading about stories like that, about people finding out these amazing things that I would have never have thought of, which is really good for me because now I can just look up a guide to unlock this special stuff. And I really appreciate the people who spent that much time, those hundreds and thousands of hours on content like that. And then you have fucking Pokemon. That's just like, whoops, here's all the important stuff. Here's all the new things we are adding into this game. Whoops. Guess that shit's out. Good job, Cerebi. Good job on reporting on that, Cerebi. Love you.
Yeah, like because of all like the things they've been saying, I haven't really been interested in Sun and Moon. I'm kind of like, I think I can skip it.
The thing is like I was so excited to play Sun and Moon that I downloaded the demo, and I spent 4 minutes playing the demo, and I was just like, okay, well, guess I'll start up Monster Hunter. Like,
I didn't even play the demo. I just been playing.
I downloaded the demo
thing.
because I thought I would be like really invested in it. But as it turns out, I just really want to see what other people find in it. I just want to see what everybody else sees. Like I stopped caring about Pokemon so much, and it hurts my soul that a game I grew up with is so bland to me now. I just don't enjoy the adventure anymore.
To me, it's too easy now. It's like,
yeah.
Why?
The funny thing is that I used to enjoy the adventure so deeply with Pokemon, and as the technology advanced, they focused so much on the story that they forgot about the adventure that players are supposed to take on their own. Like they put people on rails to this adventure, and that's the thing about the Gen 3 remake that I have a friend that's just like everything about Gen 6 that was good, they put into Gen 3 and then made Gen 3 just so much better that I prefer it over Gen 3's classic games. I'm just like, okay. But I don't think they listen enough to the fact that all the Gen 6 stuff is good and all. But what they took from Gen 6 that they put into Gen 3 is what ruined it as well for me, is the fact that they focus so hardly on the story that they forgot about the most important thing, which is the player's journey. It's no longer your journey, it's the journey they take you on.
Yeah.
And that's what bugs me, and that's what bums me out the most about Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. That would bum me out the most about X and Y. Especially X and Y, because I've even specified that the ending doesn't even feel like your ending, because it starts with a parade and all of a sudden it's a fight with some fucking character you didn't know for more than 5 minutes. And then the ending's about them, and then they roll credits. It's like, what the fuck? It's supposed to, I won the game. Who the fuck is this? I won the game. I want to be happy. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I
don't really disagree with that. Like,
I hate.
And I mean, like, but the problem is you can make a Pokemon fan game, but it'll get like DMC'd. So
I just hate. I hate.
It's okay.
The sad thing is that I want to enjoy like Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire so much since it's my last Pokemon game. But I just stopped. And I stopped after I realized what they had done. Is because I like the idea that Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire is supposed to be a sequel. But why is the sequel so similar to Gen 3, but also changing so much? Because it's like, the moment I entered Mauville City, it's like, oh no, they turned it into a mini mall. Oh no.
Basically, they did, and I kind of just want to go play the original.
Yeah.
Even us here at PlayStation Point still love.
We feel the pain. We feel the pain of our generation slowly dying and ushering in a new generation of handholding.
Well, the thing is like everyone who started video games, at least in the past 20 years, because that's really when it started.
Yeah.
Grew up on Nintendo, because Nintendo was really the main contender, and Sony and Xbox came out of that. And yeah, we love Sony for the most part. Sony has its flaws.
Yeah.
Admit that.
Sony has priority here, but we are allowed to rant about Nintendo and Microsoft when the day arises.
If we even give a shit about Microsoft.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. God, I cannot. I can't. It hurts. Like I'm sifting in what I just said, and it hurts because I grew up with these games, and the thing is like it's an understandable pain to a lot of people too, because a lot of people experience these pains with games that have come out in the past few years. Um, a lot of fans of the Parasite Eve games when they first came out, suddenly there was a third game that came out 10 years after Parasite Eve 2, the third birthday or something, I think it was called, which sucked.
Yeah.
And it's like a lot of people grew up with Parasite Eve, and a lot of people grew up with Final Fantasy 7 or Final Fantasy 6. And we're seeing a lot of these heartbreaking things happening in gaming. Final Fantasy 6, the remake of Final Fantasy 6 fucking sucked because it was a mobile port brought to PC, which was just the mobile port. Which is okay because Final Fantasy 9 was also a mobile port brought to PC, but at least Final Fantasy 9 improved on a lot of things, except for the battle time. But just fuck 2016.
Yeah.
Just fucking fuck it, all right? Let's go to sales. Fucking 10th anniversary sale. Celebrate a decade of PlayStation downloads with a variety of games that are now signed off to Sony, along with a few extra rides to go along with. If you have been sitting on Battleborn and have not wanted it because you wanted Overwatch instead, do not count it out. Battleborn is a first-person MOBA. It is a very fun first-person MOBA with a very ridiculous 80s-style action story based around the end of the universe that is very funny and very stupid and very ridiculous and very Gearbox software. So if you're very familiar with the humor style of Borderlands 1, Borderlands 2, then you're going to like the humor in Battleborn. It's very silly, very tongue-in-cheek. You can pick up the Battleborn base game for $24, and of course you can play the game as much as you want to pick up credits, because you can unlock all the characters without spending a single dime on the game. If you want the digital deluxe version, that's $30 for PlayStation Plus members. If you have been sitting on Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, then no worries, because apparently the Infinite Warfare release has been pretty poor, seeing as how there were more people playing Farming Simulator 17 than there were Infinite Warfare at launch week. So pick up Call of Duty Black Ops 3 for $20 if you want it on the PS3. If you want the PS4 version, which is my recommendation, then it is $40 for the Gold Edition, or $65 if you want the Digital Deluxe Edition. Very good price indeed. If you want Destiny, and have been sitting on that and have seen what Rise of Iron is capable of, then you can pick up the Taken King Digital Collector's Edition for $20, or just the Legendary Edition for $15. If you've been sitting on a Battlefield game and don't want to pick up Battlefield 1, then enjoy a little bit of anarchy with Battlefield Hardline for $14 for the Deluxe Edition. You can also pick up Starhawk for $10 on PS3, as well as a variety of PlayStation 1 titles, including Resident Evil 2, Wild Arms, Final Fantasy VII for $2, and a variety of PlayStation 2 games like Manhunt and God Hand are in there. You can pick up the Jack and Daxter collection on PS3, PS Vita. You can pick up Chrono Cross. You can pick up the original Persona 4 on PlayStation 3 through the PS2 Classic system. Or you can pick up Persona 3 FES, Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne, Digital Devil Sagas 1 and 2, Psychonauts for $3 on PS4. You can also pick up Suikoden 2, a variety of other games, including Klonoa, Toy Story Racer, Dino Crisis 2. Just look up the list of games, see if there's anything that tickles your fancy, because they have a wide variety of games that you may enjoy. Although I would pass on a couple of these because no. Apparently Tomba 2's in there, which is interesting. I didn't know they allowed the release of Tomba 2. All right. But yeah, SimCity 2000's in there. Enjoy that, because odds are you won't want the new SimCity. Any recommendations?
Psychonauts.
Yeah, I figured. That's why I brought it up. I was just like, oh, well, she's going to recommend that, so I guess I should say it.
I always recommend it because it's really funny.
Yeah. Psychonauts is the right amount of humor. If they had Grim Fandango remastered in here, then I'd recommend that too. That's a pretty good one.
I'm just waiting for Rhombus and we're waiting for the VR, and then Psychonauts 2, which I know a lot of people had a problem with the Kickstarter because Double Fine has not been the best with money, or at least like their creator
Hmm.
and Tim Schafer, and it's like it's one thing, but it's not like I paid for a really big, part. I just paid enough to get the game.
Right. Resogun's in here, Titan Souls is in here, Crimson Land, the Sly Collection on Vita, Metal Slug 3 on all of its supported platforms, the Infamous Collection, so that's Infamous 1 and 2 on PS3, Dark Cloud 1 and 2 on the PS4 to PS2 classics, Counter Spy, which was a PS Plus free game at some point, which is a very interesting game, I'd say. Also, Hohokam, if you've ever heard of that. Yeah, just a wide variety of really good games. I'd recommend Parasite Eve if you're looking for a really good RPG. It's basically if Squaresoft made Resident Evil. It's like a macabre horror RPG.
I've watched it, and it's really weird, but it's also kind of fascinating.
Yeah, it was originally a book that was made into a movie, and the movie and the book are not very similar at all. But the game has its own unique take on the book. It's about mitochondria taking control of the human body. It's really interesting. It's like I said, it's like if Resident Evil was made by Squaresoft. It's like a very macabre horror thing. Just take a look. It's interesting. It's good. It has a lot of progression, including with the new Game Plus system it has.
I'd say it's time for plugs.
Yep. Well, by the time this podcast comes up, hopefully the transition to Linux servers should be done for our website so I can get the Hitman review done. So check out the Hitman review when it comes out. Hopefully it'll be by the end of the week. Be sure to follow our Twitter at BlazeKickTweet, as well as our Twitch page at BlazeKick, or twitch.tv/BlazeKickLive, and our YouTube channel, BlazeKick Media, where you can view video versions of this podcast if you're listening to us on iTunes and Google Play. Be sure to check out the website, blazekick.com, since that helps us get into press events as well as increases our overall relevance for people looking for content fitting for gamers and entertainment fans alike, as well as our Patreon, which if you are a $1 supporter, you are obviously listening to this a day early, as well as any video content that you are currently watching, like Flash Fires or any potential future video series we may be making in the future. There are a couple of ideas that we're working on right now that are in the pipelines. If you're a $5 patron, then we greatly appreciate it. And this will also get you access to future video series much earlier than we think. We are currently in talks on adding a little bit more incentive to these $5 patrons because we greatly appreciate it, because every penny counts, and we want to make sure that the content that we create for you is for you, and allowing us to work on it more through payment and crowdfunding is a fantastic way to allow us to come up with more options, I'd say, allowing us for much stronger video editors or capture cards or capture devices like a 3DS capture card. These things are what drive content on the channel, and that's why we have a Patreon to begin with. Anything else I'm forgetting?
My personal Twitter handle is @demon_sorceress, and what is yours, Tyler?
At ReplayTyHeretic.
Okay, that's it.
All right. I made it through a podcast as a host.
And hopefully I won't sound like shit next week.
Yeah, so I don't have to be host anymore because you're absolutely hating the fact that I'm being host right now.
It's more like I just feel like shit.
Yeah. I still have a bit of a cough myself. But, yeah. That was the PlayStation Point. Be sure to check out our other podcast, Nintendo Unleashed, with Connor and Armando. The podcast Scorpio, which is...
Mike and Armando?
Yeah, Mike and Armando. As well as our monthly Blaze Kick podcast, which We should be filming soon, I believe, on the eve of Black Friday.
Oh, I will not be on it.
Yeah,
I
no
will
worries.
be. I will be up in Northern California.
Mm. Well, we'll find out
So
when we'll find out when we're recording it. Odds are, if need be, then we'll have to cancel it, but no worries. Regardless, if you have any questions or topics you want us to discuss in future podcasts for any of those podcasts, then send them to @BlazeKickTweet because we want to know what you guys want us to discuss. We want to open up the field for the community because the point of BlazeKick is to be a network for the community uh, to expand and create content that they want to watch. And the only way for us to grow and expand as a network is for our community to tell us what they want to see and what they want to see us do for BlazeKick Live, for these podcasts, for Flash Fires, for anything that we create. And we want to thank you all for your continued support over the past 3 years. And we're going to continue this for as long as we possibly can, for as much as we can handle the insanity that is going to happen in the next 5 years of gaming. It's going to be a long road. All right. I'd say it's time we wrap it up, huh?
yeah.
Get your voice some rest. All right. Yeah, we will see about that. All right. Until next time, I've been Tyler, and that's been Kuro.
Bye, guys.